Listen, today I want to do a short video on the question of who do prosecutors represent. And there's two reasons why I want to do this video today. One, I recently have been reading David Ball's criminal defense book, and it has really inspired me to think about this question, as well as over the past couple of weeks, I've seen in court quite a few times relevant examples of what we're discussing here today, where it's demonstrable that who the prosecutor represents. So, what is the answer to that question? Who does the prosecutor represent? The answer is the government. Okay. Now, many prosecutors would have you believe that the answer is the people. In fact, some places that is the colloquial norm. The people versus O.J. Simpson. But that is quite the misnomer. The prosecutors have no clients. They have no individuals. They have no people who are their clients. They represent governments. When we go to trial, I sit at a table next to a citizen, a member of the county where the case, of the state, usually a member of the county, a citizen. At the other table sits prosecutors, and there's no client at their table. They are government lawyers representing the government, trying to prosecute the people who have put them in this place of power. So it's very important because my job is to zealously advocate for my clients, right? Whereas the prosecutors have no duty to zealously advocate for what victims in a case may want. So a victim in a case who may be sympathetic to the defendant because they know of their substance abuse issues, mental health issues, anything like that, may beg a prosecutor to please give the defendant a different plea deal, to please drop the charges, whatever it may be. That prosecutor has no responsibility to advocate for the position that the victim wants, which is important because it goes to show that they really are the government's lawyers and no one else. Now, many times prosecutors, when the victims are on their side, will make a big to-do about the victim's interests, but they don't do that when the victims and the government's interest don't align. And I say government interest, tongue-in-cheek. But if the prosecutor and the victim want the same thing, then there's a big to-do about it, but sometimes they want different things. Now, with that said, a victim in a case here in Georgia always has the right to be heard at the proceedings in a criminal case. However, that is usually without the benefit of zealous representation. Whereas the defendant in a criminal case is guaranteed the right to counsel. The government certainly is going to have lawyers. They've usually got multiple lawyers at their table, multiple staff, investigators, all on the public dime while they prosecute the people. Okay. They have lawyers. The defense has a lawyer usually. The victim is typically unrepresented. And all of that to say that it is a complete misnomer that prosecutors represent the people. Prosecutors represent the government, not the people. Okay? Lawyers with clients sitting at the table fighting the government. We represent the people. Okay? People call us when they have a case they need help with. The government creates its cases, indicts its cases, prosecutes its cases. Prosecutors represent the government, okay, not the people. I think that's important. I think it is important that the public knows that and that there's an awareness of who is advocating for what. Prosecutors are advocating for the government. Lawyers on the other side are advocating for a person, and the victim in the case who can be heard is often advocating on behalf of themselves without the benefit of counsel. So today, that answers the question of who do prosecutors represent. It's an important question. It's important to know. It's important for the public to be informed. And I hope that everyone learned something today, that they found this beneficial, and that everyone now knows that prosecutors represent the government, not the people.